It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Well, it's mid-November and I'm starting to get hemmed in on all sides here by snow, which has me looking towards other places, you know? I can't help but, I don't know. I look up in the mountains, I see the snow, and it's just working its way down closer and closer to me, and it makes me wonder about other places to live. Now, I'm not saying I'm moving anytime soon, but I can daydream, right? I can window shop. And part of when I do that, right, is we pick a place and I start just kind of researching things, seeing what's out there, you know? And one of the places that has kind of been in the front of my mind, especially after going to Utah, is northern Nevada, right? Like, you know, Wells, Elko, Winnemucca, like all of that area in there. And when I go and I look at these places for potential places to live, I always see if any of the municipalities have a rockhounding map, okay? Which I know a lot of people, maybe you guys haven't thought of this, but this is absolutely a thing that tourism boards will put together. And this, I can just imagine this like, I don't know, in a little brochure stand in a northern Nevada casino, right? But so it's interesting. I would highly recommend it if you're ever curious. Start looking at what tourism boards or, you know, like little cities have available publicly for rockhounding information. And by the way, if anybody out there has any hot leads that they would like to share with me, either publicly or privately, about northern Nevada, or just your thoughts, please drop a comment down below, shoot me an email, currently rockhounding@gmail.com. But yeah, I think a trip is in order as the snow comes in and it gets colder and colder. This past week, Utah, continuation of the Utah Adventure series. Hurricane Mesa, the locals sometimes call it Flying Monkey Mesa. And I don't know, that story's a little too depressing to get into here, but you Google and a Wikipedia search, I'm sure, will turn up some stuff for you. I had such an excellent time there. That was one of my earlier interactions with Ryan. It was our first time really going rockhounding together, and I can't stress enough, right? If you have the opportunity, right, to go rockhounding with somebody, take it. Listen to what they have to say. You know, you might be surprised at what comes up. But I like that location. It was beautiful, all of those things. But now this is of course opinion and not like a measurable objective fact per se, but I like my petrified wood to look like petrified wood, right? Like, this looks like wood. Like, I feel like I could go lay this in the forest and 100 people would walk past this and not pick it up, right? I like that. I want my wood to look like wood. We have a lot of stuff out here in the Pacific Northwest that it doesn't... I mean, it's a lot of silicates have replaced the material, and you don't... It looks more agate, I guess is a way to say it. It looks more agate and less like, I mean, looks like a bark chip, a wood chip, you know? I mean, that looks like a wood chip, which does it for me. So, which leads me to a piece of mail that I received this past week. Let's make a little room here on the bench. And an important part of this channel, the website, is showing material at location along with that exact location. Because one of the most critical things in rock identification right, is the location, because location is everything. And I don't mean just like, oh, Northeast Washington. No, I mean like the GPS, right? Like, I'm going to put up on the screen right here a map. This is a geological map, and this is just of a very small area that shows all of the difference, how to put it. The different colors on your screen right now represent geological differences. Let's just put it like that. So you can see how in a very small area, depending on where you're at, you would see very different material. And, you know, that's something to take into consideration. I mean, it's up there as far as the most important piece of information as far as rock identification goes. So it's great when somebody reaches out to me and they're like, hey, we have some stuff we'd like to get your thoughts on it, and they tell me where it came from. That's the most important part. Well, this mail that I already opened up, I opened this up right before turning the camera on, is from the Venture Closet, Charlie and Liz. Now, maybe some of you guys out there know who this couple is. They're very nice couple. They're living in their van, traveling around the country, and just like their little card says, hiking, backpacking, camping, rockhounding, travel, exploration, and more. But they're really cool. They actually went out to the Silver Bell mine, which is something that we've covered here on the channel. We've gone out there a couple of times now. So it's great to see people utilizing the information being produced here and going out and having some rockhounding adventures themselves. So the letter that they sent, which I'll read it relatively quickly. Your channel has been a great resource to us, and we wanted to pay our thanks with some nifty rocks. These are all from a site north of Moab, and we can give you the exact location if you're interested. We would love to hear your perspective on what we're looking at here. Seems to be a mix of goodies. Excellent letter, and I'm happy to look over some of these with you guys. And we can just kind of go from there. So a majority of this, okay, is agate, chalcedony, in that vein, right? That's a lot of it. And a lot of this, you can also see it does have some inclusions. We have some dendrites and other things here, which are quite nice. Lovely stuff. You know? And we can really get into all of the ins and outs of identifying something like this, but we've already done that in some other videos, and it does become a little redundant. But this is some nice material. It's very reminiscent of what is in the area for sure. Let's pull some of these agates out of here. Now, one thing that they sent that I'm not exactly familiar with, and I might have to spend some time with it, is this guy right here. Yeah, we have this very like blackened outer, and then totally brown on the inside. My initial impression is some kind of quartz, so for what it's worth. And then obviously we have this this is kind of a nice piece of chalcedony. Might want to cut this one. I feel like this one might have some more promise for cutting. At the very least, it'll satisfy some of my curiosity. We have a piece of petrified wood here. At least that appears with that. Well, actually, you know what? This certainly reminds me of some of the different calcites that I've seen down there. That might be another one to put aside for next week. And then these pieces, my takeaway was, after being right down there in that exact area, was that a form of calcite and aragonite, and we do have some of that orange glow that you would get with that. But those are also some interesting pieces that I will look at under the microscope. I'm not exactly sure what we have here. It's always interesting to have some puzzles to look at. We have some very clear defined agate on matrix. So, the important part here is that they told me where this stuff is located. And even though I'm not from that area, I can most definitely put some time in and figure out what that material is. And maybe that's something that we can approach next week, you know? This past week, I did another episode of the Rockhound Podcast. It's a long one, okay? But for those of you out there looking to have some more long-form content, the podcasts that they produce can range anywhere from like an hour up to 2.5 hours, depending. And you can always, skip around, all those good things. But definitely go check it out. I'll drop a link down below. We talked about a number of different topics. And, one of which was social media, which is a big thing for us rockhounds. Many of us, this is how we connect with each other. We engage with each other through social media. I would never be able to my path would never cross with these people otherwise. So, that. And this coming week, we're going to continue our Utah adventure with a little bit of crystal hunting, probably unlike you've seen before. And there's a little sneak peek of it. Look at those crystals. What do you think? Now, it was a very beautiful, beautiful location. So definitely come on by Wednesday morning for that video. As always, everybody, I appreciate you for coming by the channel, hanging out with me. Thank you, big thank you to the channel members here. Your support goes a long way in making this content continuously happen. All right, everybody, y'all take care.